Well, it was indeed a disappointing loss by Orlando Pirates at home against Sekhukhune United, led by coach Eric Tinkler. I think the sooner Orlando Pirates players, technical team, wake up from that CAF Champions League semi-final exit slumber, the better. I mean, it's not going to get easier for them. Next in line is a Soweto derby, Kaizer Chiefs. A Kaizer Chiefs that has not defeated a Jose Rivero since he's been in this country. So the big question will be, is the title race over? Is the Betway Premiership, by the reason of that defeat for Orlando Pirates, spell it over for them? Well, in this episode, we will be engaging on those, if there are any possibilities of Orlando Pirates or even maybe Mamelodi Sundowns, falling and Pirates getting favors from the other teams. Yes, I do go by the name of Wisconsin Football, where I engage and discuss on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, Orlando Pirates defeated 1-0 at home against Sekhukhune United. Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, winning their fixture against Richards Bay United, winning that one 3-0. Now, one disappointing thing about Orlando Pirates is the fact that they have yet again continued with the trend of conceding goals via crosses. Yet again, a goal comes in via a set piece, a corner, and they failed to deal with it. I think that even Sipoche this time around must be blamed. He is not in control of that 6-yard box, and I think that's what an Eric Tinkler actually studied. He used a Maghalwa to press that right hand side, and it actually worked out because chances that they had in the game, they came via Keletso Makhala's side, and yes, the goal came via a corner. Yet again, an assist from Keletso Makhala, who's had a stellar season. Or Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, we were expecting probably a whole lot of changes because of an intense game they had against an Al Ahly in Cairo. You count the travel, and you'd assume that there might possibly be a wholesale change by coach Miguel Cardoso, especially for a player like an Allende, and he was played a lot of minutes. The only time we see an Allende resting is when there's an international break, because he's never called by Chile. But anyway, the formation is started with, there's a whole lot of changes, but not as much as we thought. Ronza was rested, and then Musa Libusa was also rested. So he had Dennis Onyango starting in goals, central pairing of Mali Koza with the Grand Kekana, the fullbacks that started in Cairo, Mudiba on the left, and a Mudao on the right. Going front, this time around we had a double pivot of Mukwena and Allende with four attacking minded players in a Ribeiro, Sales, Tesh Matthews, and a Renas. I think this is one game that was completely dominated in all aspects of the field, and there was no threat at all from Richards Bay. The quality of Mamelodi Sundowns overall really overwhelmed a Richards Bay. The first goal being opened by our most expensive player in the history of Mamelodi Sundowns, Arthur Sales, who's been really under pressure from a lot of fans because we are trying to equate what we see versus what the club paid for him, but a beautiful assist by a Tebogo Mokoena and a sweet finish by the Brazilian. The second goal comes via a Tash cross whipped into the box. Just a small touch from Ikram Reyners to finish off the second goal. The last goal assisted by yet again Arthur Sales, and a man who never scores a whole lot of goals, but when he does so, he does score special goal. But the third one was not such a special goal, but an important one to really settle the nerves, and so that even the technical team can rest some of the players. And it was indeed so when Mokoena and Allende were rested for Mkhulise and an Adams. And these are two players I really want to talk about. I mean, these guys, when they came in, the intensity, the flow of the game did not dip, and they maintain that standard. I mean, Mkhulise, bless her, he's such a good player. Jaden Adams, I don't think there's someone as calm as Jaden Adams. Maybe he's close to a Rivaldo Cotier in terms of really at peace when he receives the ball, knowing what to do when the ball before even the ball reaches his feet. I must say I was really impressed by those two in the middle of the park, especially that Mokoena is not there, a familiar face, and Allende is not there, a familiar face, but the two guys really controlled everything. Would be interesting how the two would play on a game of consequence. And obviously at the tail of the end of the season, the one important game we have is that CAF Champions League. So the bench is going to be important in supporting the players who've raked up a lot of minutes during this season. And it must actually also be considered the fact that after the finale, CAF Champions League, we only have like 2 weeks before the first game in the US of A, that Club World Cup against the South Koreans. But overall, you look at the numbers, Mamelodi Sundowns has played 23 games. And we all know what has happened to Royal AM, and we only have 5 games left to finish off the season in 28 games. And Orlando Pirates has played 21. They've got 7 games to play. And to say that the league is over, the race is over, it will be really immature. It will be childish. We know what has happened, especially in the 2019-2020 season. I know there's a 12 gap difference between Sundowns and Pirates, with Pirates having 2 games in hand. And if an Orlando Pirates can lose the derby against Kaizer Chiefs, and Mamelodi Sundowns wins against Cape Town City in Cape Town, a Cape Town City that has been extremely poor. I mean, these guys have been piss poor this season. There is actually a chance that they may actually end up in that 15th position, meaning they'll go into playoffs. So it will be immature for any Sundowns fan to say the league is over, because I mean, a lot of things can change. Pirates can get favors from all the 5 teams we are going to play against. I know we'll be playing twice against the Chippa United, home and away, and then there's Cape Town City. I forgot the other 2. Oh, there's Stellenbosch, tough team who've done well this season, especially going into Africa for the very first time. I think Orlando Pirates would really be regretting why they did not flex their muscles and spend some money in the past transfer window in January. Because if you're in Africa, I mean, Al Ahly spend a lot of money in January. Espahan spend a lot of money in January. And Orlando Pirates, they were like, they're okay promoting their DDC, young players. As much as your Mbogazis, your Nkotas have done extremely well, but these are not experienced campaigners, and that's what you want in CAF Champions League. That's what you want if you're competing in a marathon called the Betway Premiership. Betway Premiership is not instant porridge. It's not MTN8 where you just play 4 games and you win the cup, but it is planned to be 30 games, and there's going to be injuries, there's going to be suspensions, there's going to be loss of form. So you need experienced campaigners to run the race with you. And I think that's where Orlando Pirates have really done injustice for themselves and their fans. I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns, when you give Mamelodi Sundowns at the tail of the season an open gap, they do not look back. So as much as I admit that it is not yet over, but even if they win their 2 matches in hand, that is Orlando Pirates, that 6-point difference between themselves and Sundowns would be a lot, considering what Mamelodi Sundowns have done in the past 7 seasons. The past 7 seasons, Mamelodi has won the league, and this will be their 8th one in a row. And unfortunately, the league has to suffer because Mamelodi Sundowns, their ambition is to dominate Africa. So in order to always give themselves a chance in CAF Champions League, they need to either win the league or be a runner-up. They've done so excellently in the past 10, 11 years, where they've either been number 1 or runner-up. The only people who've disturbed that trend is a Betway Vets and a Kaizer Chiefs in 2015. What do you think, guys? Do you think the league is over? Do you think that something can happen? The tables can be turned? Other clubs might actually disturb Mamelodi Sundowns, and maybe Orlando Pirates can come back. I don't know if they have anything, but you know what? The trauma of living in CAF, of losing in CAF Champions League is real. Mamelodi Sundowns has seen this. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns, they're going to Cape Town, playing an 8 o'clock match against a Cape Town City. The only side that defeated them in last year, where we would have been celebrating an invincible season. Eric Tinkler led Cape Town City, messed up that party, and this time around they are fighting for relegation. So Mamelodi Sundowns is going to a team that is fighting for their lives. So they really have to go to Cape Town City and plan to hammer those guys. If you're seeing this face and this content for the very first time, love it if you join the family. You do support the channel by liking, subscribing, by commenting on the section below of your view. These are my views, but I'd love to hear what you think about the subject discussed on this episode. Now let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.